Hi guys, good day. It's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class, it's all about finding the vertex, the opening of parabola, the domain, the range, the axis of symmetry, the x-intercept, and the y-intercept. So without further ado, let's do this topic. So this is already part 2 of our video class. The part 1 of our video, we answered this number 1. We have given example f of x equals x squared plus 4x plus 3. In which we have a positive x squared. Now in this video class, this is actually requested from our students, our subscribers. What if, sir, we have a negative x squared? So what would be the thing that we will do if we have a negative x squared in this function? So we will explain that class step by step how to find the opening of parabola, the domain, the range, the axis of symmetry, the x-intercept, and the y-intercept. Alright, so let's start. So let me erase this number 1. So once again class, in the part 1 of our video, feel free to see the link on the description down below. So this f of x class, you can actually write this one as y equals negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. Once again class, this is just the same. F of x, that would be the same with y. You can write that f of x equals to y. So y equals negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. Alright, so first thing to do class is we need to find the opening of parabola. So once again, in the opening of parabola, if your a is greater than 0, your parabola opens upward. So your graph will look like this. Now if your a is less than 0, your parabola opens downward. So your graph will look like this. So let's find the value of a in this function class. Y equals negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. Now, do you still remember class in quadratic function, the standard form? So we have y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. So in our example class, let me write the equation class. Y equals, we have negative x squared. Okay. Y equals negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. So our a, understood, our a is beside x squared. Now if you didn't see any number beside x squared, so once again, if you didn't see any number beside x squared, understood that there's 1 here class. Now since this is negative, our a will be negative 1. So once again class, understood that there's 1 here. If you didn't see any number beside x squared, understood that there's 1 here. So our a is negative 1. Now you'll be asking, why is it negative 1, sir? Because this is negative. So understood that there's 1 beside x squared before x squared, and since this is negative, so our a is negative 1. And our b is beside x, that would be negative 2. And our c is the constant, that's positive 8. Alright, so our a is negative 1. Now is negative 1 greater than 0 or less than 0? That's correct. Negative 1 is less than 0. So once again, negative 1 is less than 0. So therefore, since our a is negative, it is less than 0. Therefore, our parabola opens downward. So this will be our graph class. So the opening of parabola, I will just put OP class, opening of parabola. So the answer is downward. Because our a is less than 0. Our a is negative 1. That's how you find the opening of parabola class. Easy, right? Just get the value of a. Now, if your a is greater than 0, your parabola opens upward. If your a is less than 0, now if your a are negatives, of course, your parabola opens downward. Alright, so let's find. Okay, I hope you understand this one, class. Next step is we need to find the vertex. So let's find the vertex. So the vertex, once again class, the vertex, that would be h and k, h comma then k. Alright, so let's find h class. Now to find h, we do have the formula. So the formula in getting the h, that would be h is equals to negative b over 2a. So negative b over 2a. So copy h. Then copy negative sign because it's already in the formula. Once again class, it says h equals negative b. So therefore, we already have a negative in the formula. So copy negative sign. And the value of b is negative 2. So the value of b is negative 2. Alright, so once again class, do not be confused. Now you'll be asking, sir, why do you have two negatives? This first negative class is already in the formula. It says negative b. So the first negative is already in the formula, and the second negative, it is the value of b. And our b is negative 2. Check the equation class, our b is negative 2. That's why you have two negatives. First negative is in the formula, and this negative 2 is the value of b. Alright, and then, once again class, you put parentheses because we're not allowed to have two negative signs close to each other. So you put parentheses because we need to multiply the negatives later on. Alright, and then copy 2, then a, once again 2a, it means 2 times a. 2 times a is just the same with 2a. So our a is negative 1, so 2 times a is negative 1. 2 times negative 1. Alright, and then this will be h, let me just write it here. So h equals negative times negative, this will be positive. Once again, multiply the signs, negative times negative, that is positive 2. So negative times negative is positive, then copy 2, positive 2. Then 2 times negative 1, so 2 times negative 1, that's negative 2. Positive times negative, if you're multiplying unlike signs, the answer is negative. So 2 times negative 1, that's negative 2. Then divide. 2 divided by negative 2, that's negative 1. Once again, dividing unlike signs, the answer is always negative. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we have negative 1. Alright, so therefore, our h is negative 1. Now, to find k class, you have two solutions. First, you can just simply substitute the value of h from this equation to find k. Or second, you can use the formula. So it depends on you class, which do you prefer. So I will be explaining the two solutions for you to really understand how to find k. So once again, h and k, we can write it in ordered pair. That would be x and y. Once again, your h is your x, your k is your y. So first solution class to find k. So to find k, simply copy the equation y equals negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. So first solution, once again, your h is your x. So this negative 1 class, you can write this one as x equals negative 1. Why is that, sir? Because h, that would be your x. So you can substitute x by negative 1. Because h is negative 1, therefore x is equals to negative 1. So to get the value of y, simply substitute this negative 1 from this equation. So that would be y equals, copy the sign, copy negative sign, then your x is negative 1. Once again class, do not be confused, where did I get negative 1? Negative 1 is our h. And x is equals to h, so therefore, our x is equals to negative 1. So negative 1 squared, right? Once again, copy negative sign. Then x is negative 1, then squared, minus 2. Then x is negative 1. So times negative 1 plus 8. So y equals, so negative 1, this is negative 1 squared. I'm sorry, I forgot the squared. So negative 1 squared. So copy negative sign. Once again, do not multiply class. It should be parentheses exponent. So copy negative sign. Then negative 1 squared. What do you mean by negative 1 squared class? That's correct. Negative 1 squared, it means negative 1 times negative 1. And negative 1 times negative 1, that's positive 1. Once again, class, negative 1 squared, it doesn't mean negative 1 times 2. It means negative 1 times negative 1. And the answer is positive 1. So copy negative sign. Then answer is positive 1. Negative 1, negative 2 times negative 1. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 1 is 2. Then copy 8. Alright, so this will be y equals, so copy negative 1, then 2 plus 8, that is 10. So once again class, if you're confused, just combine the positive first before combining the negative numbers, negative and positive. So before combining negative and positive, just combine the positive numbers first for you not to be confused. Or you can actually arrange this one class. For me class, it's better to arrange class. What do you mean by that, sir? Okay, you put the positive numbers first. So positive 2, then positive 8, then minus 1. Why is that, sir? Why do we need to arrange? Because many of the students class, they are so confused with this unlike signs. and they will commit mistakes. So for you not to commit mistakes, go ahead class, you arrange. Put the positive number first, then followed by the negative numbers. This is actually the same class. So positive 2, positive 8, then negative 1. So arrange and it will be easy. 2 plus 8, that is 10, minus 1, that is 9. So 2 plus 8 is 10. Okay, this is y equals 2 plus 8 is 10 minus 1. So our y is equals to 9. Alright, and our y is equals to 9. And do not forget that y is equals to k. So therefore, our k is positive 9. So once again, class, y is equals to k. And our y is 9. So therefore, our k is 9. So that's the first solution, class, in finding k. So because for me, class, if I will be finding the vertex, I will find h. Now, once I get h, I will just simply substitute this value from this equation. So it depends on you, class, which do you prefer. The second solution, class. Second solution. So what would be the second solution, sir, in finding k? Alright, so we have a formula. That would be k equals 4ac minus b squared all over 4a. So this is the formula, class, in getting the k. Second solution. Okay, let me just write it here so we have enough space. So k equals 4ac minus b squared all over 4a. So this is k equals copy 4, then multiply once again 4 times a times c. That's the same with 4ac. So 4 times a is negative 1, then our c is positive 8, minus our b is negative 2. So minus, then b is negative 2, then squared. All over, this is 4, then a is negative 1. 4 times negative 1. Alright, so this will be k is equals to 4 times negative 1. So 4 times negative 1, that's negative 4, times 8. So once again, 4 times negative 1, that's negative 4, times positive 8. So negative 4 times positive 8, that's negative 32. Minus, so once again, class, do not forget, okay, we don't have enough space. This is k equals negative 32. Then copy minus sign. Once again, class, where did I get negative 32? That is 4. 4 times negative 1, that's negative 4, times 8. So negative times positive, that is negative. Then 4 times 8, that is 32. So that's why we have negative 32. Then minus negative 2, then squared. So it means negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2, that's positive 4. So copy minus sign. Copy minus sign. Then negative 2 times negative 2, that's positive 4. Alright, all over 4 times negative 1. So 4 times negative 1, that's negative 4. And this will be k equals, so if you both have negatives, once again, class, if you both have negatives, if you're combining both negatives, negative 32, negative 4, just simply copy negative sign, then you add the numbers. Once again, class, if you have this kind of equation, you both have negatives, if you're combining negative 32, negative 4, simply copy negative sign, then you add the numbers. 32 plus 4, that is 36. So negative 36 divided by negative 4, so negative divided by negative is positive. 36 divided by 4, that is 9. Same answer, class. So it depends on you, which do you prefer, class. You can have the solution in getting the k, or you can have the first solution, class. Simply substitute the value of x to get the value of k. So it depends on you, class, which do you prefer. But in my end, class, I will use the first solution. So it depends on you, class, which do you prefer. Or it depends on your teacher. If the teacher will not teach you the first solution, you need to make the second solution, class. So it's better, class, to use the first solution for you not to be confused. Alright, so same answer. We're done with the vertex. So our vertex, okay, so our vertex, that would be negative 1 and positive 9. So next, domain and range. Now, before we find the domain and range, we need to graph the equation. So before we graph, we need to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Okay, let's find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So So let's start with the x-intercept. X-intercept. So to find the x-intercept, class, you just let y equal to 0. So let y equal to 0 to find the x-intercept. Once again, to find the x-intercept, you let y equal to 0. So this will be, copy the equation, y equals negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. So let y equal to 0 to find the x-intercept. Once again, class, to find the x-intercept, you let y equal to 0. So instead of y, we change this one into 0. So this will be 0 equals negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. Now, to find the x-intercept, class, is we need to do the factoring. Now, since we have a negative x squared, so we need to factor this out by negative 1. Okay, once again, to make this equation into positive, because it's hard for us, class, to factor this out if you have a negative x squared, so therefore, we need to factor this out by negative 1. And negative x squared divided by negative 1, that's positive x squared. Negative divided by negative is positive. Negative 2x divided by negative 1, that's positive 2x. Positive 8 divided by negative 1, that's negative 8. Once again, class, factor this out by negative 1. You will be asking question, why is that, sir? Because it's hard for us to factor this equation if you have a negative x squared. So you can check, class, if you really factor it out correctly by distributive property. Negative 1 times x squared. Okay, negative 1 times x squared, that's negative x squared. Negative 1 times positive 2x, that's negative 2x. Negative times positive is negative. Negative 1 times negative 8, negative times negative, that is positive 8. So this is just the same, class. We just factored it out by negative 1. So once again, class, I just factored it out by negative 1. Once again, when you factor it out by negative 1, just change the sign, class, of the equation. If this is negative, it will be positive. This is negative, it will be positive. This is positive, it will be negative. So that's the thing there, class. Alright, so next, so copy negative 1, we need to factor this out. So factor this out, class. Once again, class, if you want to learn more about factoring, I will just put the link, class, in the description down below with regards to factoring. So factor this out, so copy this constant, negative 8. So you find two numbers, class, that when you multiply the two numbers, you will get negative 8. At the same time, when you combine, you will get positive 2. Of course, that would be negative 4. Oh, sorry, that's positive 4. That would be positive 4 and negative 2, right? Why is that, sir? Because if you combine 4 and negative 2, so positive 4, negative 2, if you combine, this will be positive 2, right? We need to get positive 2. Once again, you find two numbers that when you multiply the two numbers, you will get negative 8. When you combine, you will get positive 2. That will be positive 4 and negative 2. Because positive 4 minus 2, that is 2. And positive 4 times negative 2, that's negative 8. So therefore, our factors will be positive 4 and negative 2. So this will be x plus 4, then x minus 2. And then equate your answer, class, into 0. Once again, class, just do not include this negative 1. This will be our factor, class. So just ignore negative 1. Equate this one into 0. So this will be x plus 4 equals 0. The other one, x minus 2 equals 0. So to find the value of x, transpose this 4 from left to right and this 2 from left to right. So we have x equals, this is positive 4. It will be negative 4. And this will be negative 2. It will be positive 2. That's it, class. This will be our x-intercepts. Easy, right? For the x-intercept. So x-intercept. Okay, so x-intercept, that would be x equals negative 4 and x equals positive 2. So x equals negative 4 and x equals positive 2. Now, if the teacher will ask you to write your x-intercept into ordered pair, okay, so if the teacher will ask you to write your x-intercept into ordered pair, okay, you write your x-intercept, class, into ordered pair, very easy. So if your x is negative 4, once again class, ordered pair, that would be x and y. So once again, ordered pair, that should be x, then y. So your x is negative 4. Now since you let y equal to 0, always remember you let y equal to 0. So your x is negative 4 and your y is 0. And the other one, okay, and we have your x is positive 2 and then your y is 0. Because there are some teachers class that they will write your x-intercept, they advise you to write your x-intercept into ordered pairs. So that would be x is negative 4, then your y is 0. X is positive 2, then your y is 0. Therefore, when we graph this one class, our graph will pass through these points. So we will check that later on with regards to our graph. So our graph class will pass at these points. Alright, so that's the x-intercept. Next part is we need to find the y-intercept. Alright, so it's easy class to find the y-intercept. So to find the y-intercept, we just let x equal to 0. So y-intercept. Very easy class to find the y-intercept. So to find y-intercept, we let x equal to 0. So copy the equation, y equals negative x squared minus 2x plus 8. So you let x equal to 0, so this will be y equals, copy negative sign, and our x is 0. So this will be 0 squared minus 2, then x is 0 times 0 plus 8. So y equals, we can just simply cancel this out class. Because 0 times 0 is 0, and negative 2 times 0, that is 0. So we can just simply cancel this out. And our y is equals to 8. Once again, class, cancel this out because 0 times 0 is 0. Negative 2 times 0, that is 0. So cancel this out and the remaining is 8. So our y is equals to 8. So therefore, our y-intercept is 8. Or you can write it in ordered pair. Since our x is 0, we let x equal to 0. And do not forget the ordered pair, it should be x and y. And our x is 0 since we let x equal to 0 and our y is 8. So therefore, our graph class will pass through these points. Alright, easy right to find the y-intercept. Okay, so let's graph class so that we can check if the graph passed through this point. So we have 0, then 8. Alright, so let me graph our equation. So y-intercept, that is 0, then 8. Alright, so y-intercept is 8. Or we can write it at 0x, then 8 for y. So next step class is we need to graph so that we can find the domain, the range. So let's graph. So our vertex is negative 1, then 9. Okay, so 9 is y. So therefore, this is positive 9. So let me graph this one. We don't have enough space for our x. We have negative 4 and positive 2. Okay, let me just write it here. Okay, so this is 9. Our highest number for y is 9. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then 1, then 0. No, 1, then this is the center class, 0, 0. So I hope you see this one class. So our x is negative 4 for the highest, negative 1, negative 2. So if you want to learn more about how to plot points class, I will just put the link on the description down below with regards to plotting of points. But I know you already know how to plot points. Alright, so positive 4, then negative 1, our x. So we have negative 1 for for h, then positive 9 for y. So let's just stop on negative 2 class for y. Alright, so I hope you see this one class. Once again, our x values. So our x values, this one, x and y. So this is y. So x on the right, those are positive numbers. On the left, those are negative. Y upwards, those are positive, and downwards, this will be negative. So let's graph. Let's start with at the vertex class. Once again, when you graph class, you will start at the vertex. So your graph, it says -1, then +9. So -1 for x. Okay, -1 for x. Once again, h and k, that would be x and y. -1 for x, then +9 for y. So this will be the graph class. -1 for x. Okay, let me just write it in black class. -1 for x. Alright, then +9 for y. So this will be your point class. Let me just write it in black. -1 for x. -1 for x, then +9 for y. So this is -1 and +9. You need to label class. -1 and +9. -1 for x, +9 for y. And the x-intercept, it is -4, then 0. -4, 0. So -4 for x, then 0 for y. So once again, if it's 0 for y, you will not move up and down. So if it's 0 for y, you will not move up and down. Now since this is -4, this will be our point class. This will be -4. So therefore, your graph will pass through these points. And we have 2, then 0. So +2 for x, then y is 0. So you will not move up and down since your y is 0. And +2 for x. So this will be your point. So this is -4, 0. This is +2, then 0. And our y-intercept, it says 0, 8. So 0 for x. So you will not move right and left since our x is 0. And our y is +8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 0, then 0 for x, then 8 for y. So this will be the point class. 0, then 8. That's it, class. And then you connect the points and you will have your graph, class. You connect these points. Alright. You connect these points and this will be your graph, class. Alright, that's it, class. That's your graph. Now to find the domain, so easy, class, to find the domain. Once again, class, our domain, that would be the x values. Now your graph, class, will extend. Okay, it will extend, class, infinity because this is an arrow. So all of the x-axis will be included after 4 because your graph will extend to the right, to the left, infinity, to negative numbers, and to the right to positive numbers because your graph will extend, class. It will look like this. So I'm so sorry for my graph, class, because we don't have the graphing board. But for the domain, class, your graph will extend on the right side. Okay, it will extend infinity. It will go down to all positive numbers to the right and all negative numbers to the left. Once again, class, your domain, that would be the x values. So your graph will extend like this. So therefore, all of the x will be included, positive and negative x values. But just always remember this one, class. If you have this kind of function, you don't have a square root, your domain, the answer should be always all real numbers. Just remember this one, class. Your domain, the answer should be always all real numbers. So your domain, the answer is all real numbers. All real numbers. So that's the answer, class, for the domain. I just want to explain that one. Why is it all real numbers? Because your graph will extend on the left. So all of the x will be included because your graph will extend like this. And your graph on the right side will extend on the right side. All of the positive numbers will be included. That's why you have all real numbers, because your domain, that would be the x values. So x will be all included because your graph will extend. Or you can write this one in interval notation. Once again, left and right, from negative infinity up to positive infinity. So you can have these two answers, because it depends on your teacher. You can have this answer. All real numbers will be okay. this will be actually okay, class. But if the teacher will ask you to write your answer into interval notation, you can have this answer from negative infinity up to positive infinity. Alright, so let's find the range. Last one, find the range. So to find the range, class, if your y is greater than 0, okay, if your a, not y, class, if your a is greater than 0, so your y is greater than or equal to k. Now, if your a is less than 0, your y will be less than or equal to k. Now, in the equation, class, is our a less than 0 or greater than 0? That's correct. Our a is less than 0. So, this will be our range, class. Why is that, sir? Because our a is negative 1. We checked that a while ago. Beside x squared, our a is negative 1. So, we will use this equation. So, y is less than or equal to k. So, copy y less than or equal. What's the value of k, class? That's correct. K is positive 9. So, that's the value of range, class. But we will explain this one. Why is it y less than or equal to negative? Y is less than or equal to 9. Now, for your range, class, your range, that would be the y values. As you can see, class, our graph will go down. So, from positive 9 up to negative infinity. So, that's why you have y less than or equal to negative 9. Once again, why you have equal? Because it starts at it starts at positive 9 up to negative infinity. So, you can have y less than negative 9 or equal to 9. So, starts at 9, then less than 9. Y is less than 9 or equal to 9. Y less than 9. So, you can have example, class. 8. 8. Is 8 acceptable? Yep. Because your graph will go down. So, you can have 8. You can have 7 y values. You can have 6. Because your graph will go down, class. Y is less than or equal to 9. Okay, you can have negative 1, you can have 1 because your graph will go down. And the y, that would be the y value. So therefore, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are included because your range, that would be the y values, and your graph will go down from negative 9 up to negative infinity. So all negative numbers will be included. 8 will be included up to positive 9. So that's your range, class. Or if the teacher will ask you to write this one in interval notation, from negative infinity, once again, class, from low to high. From negative infinity, so you can write this one from negative infinity up to positive 9. And you will write bracket, class, because 9 is included. Okay, 9 is included. We have, once again, class, in quadratic inequality, if you have less than or equal, if you have the symbol less than or equal, you will use bracket. So you can have this answer, class. If you have infinity, you will use parentheses. So that's it, class, to find the range. So I hope you learned something new today, class, with regards to finding the range, the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and the opening of parabola. So that's it. We're all set for this one. What if you have a negative x squared? So that's how you find the domain and range, the vertex, and the opening of parabola. So once again, class, I hope you liked this video. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.